welcome back. Okay, so let's start turn 3. First thing we do is the levy phase, and again we get 1 for having the crown, 2 for our 2 marquees, and then 1 more for just being Charlemagne. So we can hire 4 guys, and as you know, I did a pretty poor job last time, so I do need to spend some money. Unfortunately, I wanted this money to get more churches going, and I feel like I'm going to lose a whole round here, but that's what I have to do. So I'm for sure going to get a level 2 cavalry for $2, and then that puts us to $4. And then I'll get a level 1. Here's the problem. Our military threshold is now 24. It keeps going up. This game just sort of pinches you like a vice. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or sorry, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is 21. And I'm going to put it back, and I'm just going to buy 2 more level 2 cavalry. So now I am at 24. So that puts me to $0 though, and that hurts. But I think that's all we can do. Okay, so it's peanut butter action time. Just making sure the levy step. Oh, we get to promote 1 unit to level 3. So it has to be an infantry unit. So I can promote this guy to level 3. Now that might change what I purchase here, because now I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yes, I'm going to put him back and get a level 1. So now I'm at 24, and I still have $1. Hey, you never know. That $1 might mean something. Okay, so moving on to our actions. So remember, we can suppress, we can battle, we can force march, we can gift, which we've never done because we never have money. We can do a force conversion, which causes us to lose all of our victory points. We can buy a marquee, which again costs a lot of money. And then we can siege. So what we're going to try to do is siege. So what I'm looking at here is maybe we'll go to this stack first. So, nope, we're going to go up to Saxons. So we're going to do a force march, and then draw 2. And we get Poitiers. So another one in Spain, and then Paris gets 1. Okay, and then I'm going to, I guess it's a force march again to here. So I'm going to draw 2. And we have Gascony for 3, and then a leader is showing up in Spain. So that's not good for us. Got another leader. All right, so then we're going to do a siege, which is high risk, high reward here. So we get to roll, and we have to get twice the leader's bonus to eliminate the leader and top unit stacked beneath it, and then increase treasury by leader's bonus. If rolls fail, keep taking this action until it succeeds. Okay, so the leader's bonus is 2, so we just need greater than a 4, which is a 50-50 chance. So that's what we're going to try to do. And here's what's interesting. It gets rid of the leader and the top unit beneath it, but not the whole stack. So that's also interesting. And so you can't, continue with the siege. So let's try it. We need a 5 or better. There's a 6. So we did it. So we destroy this leader. Okay, and then we get to increase the treasury. So we do get $2 for that. And that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to try this. So we don't lose any of our troops, and we get $2. And for being successful, one unfriendly goes to friendly. So it actually benefits us if we succeed. So I got an unfriendly here that's going to go into the friendly box. And then, of course, these two go into the dead pool. And we do have to draw 2 from the hate bucket. And, ooh, they're both Italy. So Bavaria and Friuli both get 1. Okay, so our Marquis is going to get rid of the 1 on his space. And I wrote a 1, so nothing happens. Unfriendly goes to hate, and then we're going to draw 2 from the hate bucket. And it is a Saxons 1. Okay, so it goes to 3. And then this is Croats, also goes to 3. We're going to roll again for the Marquis there in Bavaria. And I failed again. Oh my gosh. This is an easy roll. I only need a 4. Actually, I need a 5, but I get a +1. So Friuli gets another 1. And Saxons 1 now has a leader. All right, so come on, Marquis. There we go. We got a 6. He's finally eliminated. And yes, unfriendly goes to the hate bucket. We draw 2 from the hate bucket. And we get a Saxons and a Lombardy. Oh my gosh, Italy is just getting pounded. And then we get another. Okay, so I'm going to move and siege the next leader. I need a 4 or better. And there's a 7, so we got it. So the leader and his unit are both removed, and we get $2 for that. So that puts us up to $5. And we move an unfriendly to a friendly for succeeding. And then, of course, we draw 2 from the hate bucket. So there's an intern, and Glasgow gets a leader. Boy, this is starting to heat up. So I have to make a decision. Do I want to get into Italy again? And the answer is no. Italy has a lot of troops right now, so I'm going to siege again. We're going to siege this guy, but he's a 3 strength. So I need a 6. So that means I need a 7 or an 8. Well, maybe I don't want to siege him. Yeah, let's try it. I rolled a 1. Okay, so I failed the siege. So 2 friendly goes to unfriendly. So that completely erases what I accomplished. And then we draw 2 more from the hate bucket. So this goes to Reims, and Moravia is getting 1. Okay, this guy's a +3 leader. I don't want to mess with him in a siege. I think I have to take him on in battle, and I'm not feeling confident since I'm just barely with enough troops. So I'm going to just do a force march to there, draw 1 from the hate bucket. And we got 1 here. Okay, so I'm going to suppress him. I rolled a 4, it's not enough. So unfriendly to hate, and then the hate bucket. Get 2, Paris gets another 1. And Lombardy gets another 1. Let's try to get rid of this. I rolled a 3, still not enough. Drawing 2 from the hate bucket. And, oh, this is not good. So, Corinthia gets a unit, and then they get a leader. Okay, let's get rid of this guy in Swabia. Oh, come on. Again, this is where you just have to accept the fact that the dice are just not working out. So I'm going to draw 2 from the hate bucket. And I have another Lombardi. And then this is a Viking. So I gotta check real quick. When the Vikings arrive, it goes in a purple region, and I don't think it says where. So I think it just goes like that. I don't think it goes in a box. It's just in a region. So let's go again. Oh, come on. We're just rolling awful. This turn is going to end and we're going to be just toast. So Poiter, and then we got a Moor. So a Moor comes in, we flip them from peace to tension, and then this stack just got bigger. Okay, I need to I'm going to force march in to here, because I think I have to No, I don't have to be in Italy to get my +1 to my PAM, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to just get rid of this 4 if I ever roll. There we go, there's a 7. I finally got rid of him. That was a very painful situation. And I'm going to draw 2. And I have a Breton and another Breton. So all of a sudden, I'm just getting flooded everywhere. And I'm hardly making a dent. So I have leaders everywhere. I have units everywhere. If I want to build roads here, I need to clear all this out. So I'm going to force march. Well, first thing I'm going to do is my marquis is going to try to suppress, because my marquis can kill the top unit here. So we're going to try to suppress, and of course I fail. So 1 and 1 goes over, and now I'm drawing 2. And we got province. So this one's an interesting one, and then the Saxons got another one. And so their stack just got even bigger. All right, so now I have a pickle. I have one here, and then of course I have that stack. And no matter what, I have to just pay to force move. Just one space, so that doesn't help me any. And Lombardy gets yet another one. And so now I'm going to suppress this one. And I got an 8. So we got him. And 1 goes over. I draw 2. And we have Britain got another one. They're stacked high and mighty over here. And then this is another Viking. However, we have more than 3 in the purple region, so now they show up in the blue region. So that's where the Vikings end up. Okay, So now I'm going to force march again. And there it is, end turn. So this was a brutal turn. We're not going to be able to accomplish much. So now we go to the build phase. And I can't even build a church even though I have enough money. Because it has to be a region that Charlemagne occupies. Can I build a church in the blue region? I mean, is there a reason to? If you finish a church in the blue region, your taxes would go up. But it has to be, I think you can, right? I mean, why would I not want to build a church in the blue region? And then why do I only have 4 churches in the game? It tells me I can build a church with the pagans. So I guess maybe if I build a church up there, I'm just not building a church somewhere else, like where the Spanish is. It's an interesting thing. So I'm assuming I can do this. It doesn't say I can't. And maybe I'm just getting hung up over the fact that it's the blue region, and there's no reason to get hung up. It's just a place is a place, so just build the church. Oh, you know what got me hung up on this? It said you can only build in the pagan region if you've already built 3 other churches. So then it says, in other words, it'll be the last church you ever built. That's what it says in the rule book. And the reason I was getting hung up on that is I was like, well, hold on, there's 4 regions here. But that's the thing, there's only 4 tokens. So if you build in 3 of these regions, and then you go build in the pagan, that is the last church you'll ever build. And yes, one of these regions just won't have a church. So I'm so sorry I got mentally hung up on that. So yes, I'm going to spend $3 and start construction on a church. And unfortunately, that's all I can do. I don't have enough money to finish it. Okay, so that is the build phase. Then the Viking. 1 Viking is removed from regions with marquee. So this Viking is removed. The other one we have to pay $1. So I'm going to pay $1. I'm down to $1 to get rid of that Viking. Okay, so now we do have tension with the Moor. So I'm going to roll. And we rolled a 2, which was enough. So the tension goes away. The Moor piece gets removed and goes into our Deadpool. The Byzantine Empire is already at peace, so nothing to do there. England, if our taxation meets the wealth threshold. The wealth threshold for this turn is 11, and our taxation is 10, so we don't get the extra VP, so we're falling behind. If I was able to build that church, I would have had it. So that's the difference. Now it says if our PAM is, if we can increase our PAM once during the game if our VP meets the VP threshold. So our VP currently is 13. The VP threshold is 13. So we're going to take this marker away. And then we get a +1 PAM marker. And so now, now this +1 PAM marker, it adds +1 to our rolls against the diplomacy rolls with the Byzantine check and the Moors. It's helping us with those rolls. So it's not doing nothing is what I'm trying to say. Okay, then next is the turn-in phase. So we eliminate all +1 leaders right now. So this leader is eliminated. And that's, I think, it. There's no other +1 leaders on the board. Next thing we do is, if we have a finished church and no Vikings and no Moors, we eliminate the topmost unit unless in pagan region with leader. Okay, so we get to eliminate the topmost unit for this and this. So 2 of the Italy ones are gone. Okay, so then next thing, we eliminate the topmost unit in any stack of 3 or more. And this is an otherwise, so it doesn't, apply to this again. So here's 3, 3, and 3. So we got rid of 3 of them. And then for the Saxons, this is actually a 4. So it says 3+. So we can get rid of him for the Saxons. And then looking around, there's 3 for the Briton. So we can get rid of that. And these guys have leaders, so we can't do these. So it's a bit of a pickle. Okay, so then it says, additionally, eliminate 1 unit in any box occupied by Charlemagne or a Marquis. So the Marquis gets rid of another one, and then this Marquis gets rid of another one. Like so. All right, so now we have to resolve the dead pool. Now, all Vikings go into the hostile cup. So wherever I put them, these 2 go in the hostile cup. The Moors go into the unfriendly cup, which they, let me move over here so you can see, I'm sorry. They go into the unfriendly cup, the Moors do. No Byzantium, no intrigue. The turn end, of course, goes into the hostile. And then if we finish church and there's no enemies, they go in the friendly cup. Unfortunately, the Italy has enemies now. So that would have been awesome if we could have moved them all to the friendly cup, but that's not going to happen. So if there's enemies and no Frankish presence, they go in the hostile cup. And that's true for Spain here. But basically, all the pagans are going in, so let's take care of those. Okay, the blue region always goes in a friendly cup. And so then it just boils down to this one is going into the unfriendly cup, and so are these. So we just have a lot of stuff going into the unfriendly cup. All right, so the best part of waking up is tiles in your cup. All right, now we get our money. So we get $10, and it puts us to 11. And now we have to pay 2 for Marquis, and 1 for the church is 3, and then 1 for the level 3, so 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for our upkeep. And then we have 1, 2, 3 leaders on the board. So we lose 3 more. That puts us down to $4. And the military requirements are just going up and up and up. We're slipping further and further behind in the pursuit of keeping up with that. And I think at some point I may have to give up on that. Okay, so that's our money. We're at the end of the turn, I believe. I don't think there's anything else left. I think I might get out a little sheet and write down the things that need to happen and in what order, because there's just a few things that I'm always wondering, like, am I skipping something? Am I missing something? I think I'm good. So, it brings us to the end of our turn. Okay, so we move up and we have the military stuff, so we don't lose any victory points for this. This end turn marker goes into the cup. And we now have a wealth threshold of 12 and a military threshold of 28. Our victory point threshold is, it actually went down to 10. No, I'm sorry, it's 19. It's just, the font is really weird. It's a 19 point threshold. Oh, we got to score our victory points. I forgot to do that. So let's do that right now. Level 4 battle unit, none. Enemy free region. We have 1, it's blue. That's it. Intrigue marker, 1. Holy Roman Emperor, nope. Iron Crown, 1. 2 for the Marquis. And then 1 for Finnish Church with no Vikings. And we don't even get 1 for coins. So we currently have 19 right now. So we actually have the threshold for the next turn. So from that perspective, we're good. But we're going to lose points because of the military situation. So that's going to, I think, start compounding on us as a problem. Okay, so we are, like I said, we're on turn 4. And let's get cracking. We can do levy, where we can buy troops. And I'm at 4 gold, and I'm worried about this, but I do think we need to buy troops. So I'm going to spend 2 for another cavalry, level 2. And then I'm going to spend 2 for 2 level 1 infantry. And then it says we get to promote somebody, but it has to be an infantry. So I'll promote the level 1. That you're not allowed to promote what you just purchased, but I'll promote this guy to level 2. So our situation is we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 6, 9, 12. So that's 23, 25, 27, 28, 29. Oh, we actually have enough. Let me make sure I did that right. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Yes, we actually have enough. That's sweet. I could actually put a level 1 unit back and take a gold back. Should I do that? Yes, I will. I'm going to put 1 back and take a gold back. So we're at 28 exactly. Okay, so last thing I need to do is I have to build 3 churches. And that's what's going to get me my +2 here. And once I get this to +2 with the 3 churches, I can come down here and get the Holy Roman Emperor. And it gives me a +1 to all of my suppression checks. And so you can flip this over and it's +1 DRM for everything. And then this +2 is a DRM just for Italy. So that's a pretty sweet deal. So that means every region I get +1. Not the pagan regions, of course, but everywhere else I do. So it's worth getting, and I also get victory points and all that stuff. So what should I do? I have, this thing is a giant 6, which is really hard. Even with a +1, I have to roll a 6 or better to get rid of this. I could go to battle with it. He's adding 6 to the die roll. If I do, I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to siege this guy. So let's siege him. I need a 4 or better. I got an 8, so I succeeded. And so these 2 units die, the leader and the top. And let me look up on the cheat sheet the siege action. I think it says an unfriendly goes to friendly. and then we do 2 hostile reactions. So let me get 2. All right, so this is a more, and that goes there, and it goes back to tension. And then this one here is a Saxons 2, and he becomes a leader, a nasty leader, a +3. Going to war with those guys is hard. That's how I got reamed last time. You're gonna go 6 and 6, and then you're gonna have to draw 4 chips and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I would like to take this leader out, but here's my next rule question. Can I move into a space? I mean, what do? I guess I try to suppress. Can I do a forced march to there? It doesn't address what happens when I want to just move 1 space. And can I move 1 space and just not do anything? And I don't think you can, because this game is all about pacing. So that's the reason why I'm forcing myself to do a force march, even though I move 1 space. It says in order to move to a box, you must take an action there. So nothing I can do about that. Now, the one cool thing, though, is once you get roads and bridges, you may move to any box within or adjacent to the whole region. So you can just move through the entire region. So getting this church built in the blue region is actually pretty powerful. Because if I get roads and bridges there, I can move entirely through the blue region and end up anywhere I want, adjacent to there. So I definitely see the advantage. Okay, well then I'm gonna just, so it says in order to move, you have to do an action. So I'm gonna move here and do a suppress action. So I need a better than 4. I got an 8, and he suppresses 2 of them, which is both of those. And then unfriendly goes to the hate bucket, and then I draw 2 from the hate bucket. And we got an intern already, and a Lombardi, another one for the Lombardi. Okay, so I'm going to move the Marquis to the Lombardi and try to suppress, and I do. Now, it only suppresses the top one, but it's still something. And an unfriendly goes over, and we draw 2. And it's another Lombardi and a Bavaria. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, so now what? I'm going to suppress this one. And I failed. Oh my gosh. And I drew a Saxon. And the turn ends already. Holy cow. That was brutal. Now, one thing I forgot to do is when I defeated that leader, I did get 2 cold. So I want to make sure that that's very understood, because we're finishing a church, is why I'm saying that. Okay, the turn already ended. So this is pretty brutal. Okay, so we're going to move on to the build phase. Now, to start a church, it has to be where Charlemagne's located. But to finish a church, you don't need Charlemagne there. And to build roads and bridges, you have to have no enemy units there. So that's the key thing. So I can't build roads and bridges here because there's enemy units there. Can't build it here because we don't have a church. But I will spend $3 and finish this church. And so, boom, church is done. And we get a +2 to our taxes. And that puts us up to 12. And I believe that's going to get us to our threshold. Yes, it does. So we're going to get an EVP for that. So that's huge, huge to be able to do that. Okay, so the build phase is over. We're out of money. Next, we go to the Vikings. There are none, so we're good there. And now we go to the Moors. We do get a +1 to our roll, so I can't fail. This is just one unit. And I didn't mean to knock over the Leaning Tower of Pisa here at Lombardy. But I passed anyways, so the Moor is gone and the tension is restored. I think once you start getting really good at this game, you can sort of skip putting it in the dead pool, because I already know that this is going to go into the unfriendly bucket and not the hate bucket. But anyways, we're just going to follow the rules, because I'm still getting comfortable with them myself. The Byzantine Empire, nothing's there. So then we have the English Empire, and like I said, see that little 12 on the top left? That is our tax rate, and so we get an EVP. Now remember, this is worth 3, 4, 5, 6 victory points. That's how you add it up. I can voluntarily cash that in just to get 3 victory points now, which is half of what they're worth. So that's for desperate measures. If you're forced to cash them in, you get full value. So I right now I'm thinking there's no value in trying to get half. The only reason we would do half is if we somehow couldn't get this +1, because you have to meet the margin. And so anyways, back to the game. Nothing's happening at the Vatican. And then we move on to turn end. All +1 leaders are removed. There are no +1 leaders on the board. Then, if there's a finished church and no Vikings and no Moors, the topmost unit in every region, unless it's pagan with a leader, gets removed. So that means Bavaria is gone and this top one is gone. Okay, and then that's it, because there's a church in only 2 places. Next, otherwise, the topmost unit in any stack of 3 or more that does not have a leader, well, actually, oh, holy cow, it says unless in a pagan region with a leader. So that means the Spanish actually lost units last time. So I'm going to take 1 away from the Spanish from the last time, because it said that the topmost is lost. Now here's what's crazy. Topmost unit. So does that mean the leader's gone? And so then there's a new leader? That's what I'm worried about. But anyways, that was from last turn. So now this turn, this guy would be gone. And yes, that's the situation. And then looking at the pagan situation, this is a leader. 1 from there, and then those are both leaders. So, okay. And then additionally, we get to eliminate 1 unit that's under any box occupied by Charlemagne or a Marquis. So we do get to get rid of this one. It's just unfortunate there was so many greens that showed up, because I mean, if you look at this, but we did get Britain cleared out. So those 2 are gone. And now we resolve the dead pool. So all Vikings go hostile. The Moors we don't worry about. They go into the unfriendly, like I said. And then Byzantium intrigue turn end goes back in the hostile. If there's a finished church and no enemies, it goes in friendly cup. So all of these are going in the friendly cup. See, that's huge, because we're not going to see them again for quite a while. Now, if there's enemies and no Frankish presence, they go in the hostile cup. That's the Spanish for sure. They're going in the hostile cup, and so does any pagan. And then these guys are going in the unfriendly cup, unfortunately. Yes, because they're the otherwise. They would go into friendly if we were to get Italy cleared, but we just couldn't pull it off. Okay, so that ends that. Now we get our money. So This is 10, 11, 12. And then we have to pay 2 for the marquees, 2 for the churches, and 1 for our level 3. And then I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 leaders on the board, so we lose 3 more. That puts us down to 4. And we had enough military points, so we don't lose any military points. We move to turn 5. Okay, so now the tax threshold is 13. Let's look at this. The font is weird. Tax threshold is 13. The military threshold is 32. And then the victory points is 25. Oh, we forgot to score our victory points. Let's do that right now. Okay, I don't have a battle unit. Enemy free region. We have 2. So we get 2 victory points. 1, 2. Next is intrigue marker. Iron crown for 1. Marquee for 2. And a finished church with no Vikings for 2. And then per 5 coins in the treasury, we don't get any. We have 4. Okay, I consider that good. So we start turn 5. We're at the levy phase. So we were exactly at 28, and now we have to get to 32. So we need 4 more points. So I want to do a similar thing. I'm going to spend 2 gold to get a level 2. That puts us to 30, and then I'm going to spend 2 gold for 2 level 1s. Nope, I only have to spend 1 gold because I'm going to promote this level 1 to a level 2, and that's what gets me my points. So we're militarily wise, we're there. Money wise, we're still just as poor as we've always been. So as much as I keep adding more churches or whatever, it's not helping. I do need money. So these leaders need to go down, and they need to go down hard. Unfortunately, I have to go to battle, I think. I can't siege those +3 leaders. It's just too costly. So there's a lot of problems here. Okay, so let's start off with, we have, this requires a 5, and that's a 4 to suppress these guys. So that's an issue too. We get a +1 DRM. I'm thinking, yeah, let's do it. We're going to go after this guy. We need a 6, which with the +1 DRM, it's a 5, 6, or 7, or 8. So it's a 50% actually. There we go. There's a 5 right there. So he's suppressed and goes into the dead pool. 1 unfriendly goes to the hate bucket, and then the hate bucket draws 2. And we got a we got a Moravia and a Bordeaux, Spanish. And we're gonna finish this off. And I didn't mean to do that. Dang it. And of course I failed. So that goes over. Now we draw from the hate bucket. And the end turn already came up. And this one is Rheims, which is where Charlemagne is. We're gonna still get rid of this. You know what, I don't have to get rid of this. Never mind, I'm gonna leave it be. I'm gonna march. Up. Oh, why am I rolling? So in a forced march, we just draw from the hate bucket. And we got Carnithia and then Swabia. Got one. Do I really want to battle? Yes, I do. But then if I battle, I still need to get to a region to build something. I have to. I'm going to battle. So let's roll the die. I got a 3. Plus 3 is 6. Plus 7 is 13. So 13 against Brown is a 6-5-4. So let me turn the camera. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we really got to study this. I have 1 level 3 cavalry, and I think I'm going to put him right here. And then I have other cavalry. Putting all my cavalry in. We need the help. And then I'm putting my level 3 infantry in everywhere else for the same reasons. Actually, I better not. Nope, I will. No, I need a level 2. Okay, this is potentially going to be really bad for me. All right, so I'm going to start here, and I'm going to attack this 6. I rolled a 6, plus 2 is 8. I hit him. So I really need to put a cavalry on the end. This was stupid of me to put the cavalry here, because now I'm making bad choices. Because if my cavalry hits this, these 2 are still attacking him and I'm dead. So now my cavalry has to hit something that was already hit. And it actually failed to hit. Oh my gosh. This one is going to attack here. Hits. This is bad. This is very bad. Here. I failed. Here. I hit. I hit 1 unit. Here, I failed. This one failed. This one, no. This one hit. Hit. And fail. So I think the game's over. So here I defend a 4 versus a 3. I pass. No, this is a 10 versus a 3, and I rolled a 4. I fail. This unit's destroyed. So I'm falling off the wagon now. And then this is an 11 versus a 5. I rolled an 8. Perfect roll. And then this is a 10 versus a 4. Fail. Level 3 gone. Then a 5 versus a 4. Pass. 6 versus a 4. 7, I pass. 10 versus a 4. I fail. 9 versus a 3. Fail. 4 versus 4. Pass. pass. And in the most awful rolls of ever, fail. So now I'm stuck. If I lose a battle, I lose the game. Go in here. 3 plus 2 is 5. Fail. Hit. Here. Hit with a perfect 8. 4. That's a fail. This guy. 7 plus 2 is 9. That's a hit. Same guy, fail. Here, 3 plus 2 is 5, that's a hit. And then here, 2 plus 4 is 6, that's a kill. Starting here, this is a 4, I pass. That's an auto pass. 6 to 4, I rolled a 1. I lost another level 2 unit. This is a 10 versus a 4. That's a kill. This is a 9 versus a 3. That's a kill. A 4 versus a 4. That's an auto pass. So this guy can move up. This guy can move up. Or am I forced to move this way? So because I mean, do I lose if they can move through? I have to check again. I mean, these guys, they have nobody to attack, so let me check real quick. I think I'm going to lose this battle, folks. That's okay. I think there's some things I would like to do different now that I've played this. Okay, so it says you only check for a route after a defense round, which is fine. And it says that all units must be eliminated from one side or the other. So I'm guessing these two just sit and wait until it's their turn to fight. So starting here, I got a 6 plus 2. I did hit. And then here, he's isolated, so he's destroyed. Isolation is after move, so he's sitting pretty for now. This is a 5, so he misses. Here, I rolled a 5, so he's eliminated. And so here's my question. With this flank, I mean, what do I do? Can this flank guy just auto win? Right? I mean, he can't ever get hit. That's the thing that, I mean, it makes sense the way the movement works, but then I get hung up on these situations. You can move within your wing to an empty space that places them adjacent to an enemy battle unit. This may be one of your spaces or an empty. The latter case is called flanking. Flanking is only allowed if the empty space is adjacent to an enemy unit on one side and not adjacent to an enemy unit on the other. all of your spaces within that wing that are adjacent to enemy units have already been filled. So yes, it's only if all of your spaces have been filled. So I think I'm doing this wrong. See this situation? This space was not filled. So he is not allowed to flank. He has to just sit like this. It doesn't matter because this is the unit that hurt him. So basically I can't go up until these two are filled. Okay, so now we do our maneuver and these two would just move down like this. Now this guy really can flank because all the spaces have been filled. Now my question is after this gets destroyed, then does he get to go down? And I think he does because all of his spaces are filled. So that makes more sense. So my apologies for getting that wrong in the first few battles, but this makes a lot more sense. So I'm gonna roll here. 2 and 5, we got him. And then here, failed. Here, 3, 2 is 5, I failed. Here, 2 and 2 is 4, I failed. Here is attacking us. I blocked it. This is a 10 to a 4. I got a perfect 8. Okay, so I'm gonna play with the rule where I get to move down like that. And so now we attack. That's a 1 here. 3 plus 4, we hit. Now we go to here, I'm gonna attack. I got a 7, he's destroyed. He can't do anything. So then here we'll attack. I got a 6, I'm fine. Here, I'm fine. So now we do this situation. And I think he's isolated. No, he's not. Here, that's a 6, nope. 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 Yes. This guy is attacking. It's a 7, we pass. 7, we pass. Here. Nope. Nope. 3 plus 2, nope. And nope. Here is attacking, we pass. We pass. Here, I got a perfect 8. Done. And then here, 5 plus 2 is 7. Done. Holy cow. All right, so we won the battle, but the game's lost. And I'll just give you the perspective here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? We need 32 army points to move on. I don't have that. So then I'm going to lose 20 victory points. I actually have 27 victory points right now, but I'm going to lose 20. And now I do get to promote 2 units. So I will promote this one. Well, no, that cost me money. This one for sure is going to be a level 3. And I have no choice but to promote a cavalry, because that's all that's alive, to level 3. Okay, so 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, I got 2 more points. So I'm going to lose 18 points. And granted, my EVPs are worth 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So that means I'm losing 12 points. My victory point threshold for this turn is 25. Now, I'll survive this turn, but then I lose the 12 points, and then I need 35 the next turn. And I have no money. I'm not going to get money. Although I do get 3 right now for defeating this leader. And then what's crazy is this giant stack is going to go into the pool. But I hope you can appreciate this is a loss. The rules are down pat now. So if I do another playthrough, which tonight's too late to do, I can have an error-free game, I think. this is definitely an easy game to pick up. You just have to reference a few things. I did get hung up on the battle. My apologies there. Everything else is very straightforward. I got hung up on the churches too, so I guess that. But that was just me being a duper. This is a nice challenge. It's a very, very nice puzzle. So I have to go to sleep because I have to work tomorrow, and I guarantee you I'm going to be thinking all day, how can I beat this? And I think it boils down to church placement. Remember, I came down here to Italy and went bonkers with church right away. I don't know if that's the right move. I think the right place is to put the church here first and then get roads. So I need a church and a marquee here and then roads. So now when I'm moving through here, I can just move all the way through, and then basically this is like tower defense in some ways. If you can have increased movement points, right? So you can get to all the ends of your realm, it'll make it easier. But I did like having the crown. So taking this crown here was a good move because having the +1 DRM helped. It gave me victory points. It gave me money. So that opening strategy of taking Lombardy right away wasn't a dumb one by any stretch. I did like having this guy up here because when you just put your marquee automatically kills a guy. That's the other thing too, is you'll notice that I wasn't taking advantage of that. Your marquee actually will kill somebody if there's a church there and there's no one else there or no enemy. Well, hold on. Yeah, if there's a church and no enemy, they go into the friendly bucket, which is helpful, right? Because then you're not going to be drawing them as much, and that limits the amount of rebels that keep popping up. So if you build a church in an area, you want to keep it clear, so that way they go back to the friendly zone. Now that's one drawback for building a church in blue. Blue already goes to the friendly zone, so building a church here doesn't do you squat. So there is some strategy of getting the churches in these three regions and maybe leaving blue alone. That's not a bad idea either. I mean, that's the thing I appreciate about the game, is that there's multiple strategies and they all seem to be viable. So looking here at the part that and by the way, I'm calling this a failure, so we're going to stop. But here, if you have a finished church and no Vikings and no Moors, the topmost unit gets eliminated, even if it's a leader. So the finished church is huge in that regard. Then otherwise, you eliminate the topmost unit in a stack of 3 or more, even if it's a leader, unless it's pagan. Okay, so having a church eliminates the topmost unit of every space. Having a marquee will eliminate another one if they're in his space. This is an either or, of course. If you don't have the church, then this happens. But this will eliminate leaders, which is nice. And we played that wrong too. And then this additionally part, you eliminate one, and yeah, the Marquis and the Charlemagne get rid of ones as well. So the pagan leaders are the problems in this game. And they, as you can tell, the pagans came fast, they came hard. When you roll, they give huge bonuses to your die modifier, so you're going to be battling big battles. You saw what happened to me when I didn't have strong troops. You do take a pounding, and they are hard to take out. So then, you can siege them, but sieging them comes with its own problems too, especially when it's a +3 leader. There's a part of me that thinks you can leave them be for a bit, and I was doing that, right? So I was just leaving them there, and then you just pay 1 gold, right? Isn't paying 1 gold better than trying to replace a lost cavalry for 2 gold? I mean, it's a sound logic, right? So just leave those Saxons just be. They can just, dance around their fire and do whatever they do. I had a giant stack here, and then this stack was getting large. So then the other idea is hey, you know what? Let them pile up. Who cares? Well, what was happening, and I don't know if you noticed this, but my enemy cup, my hate cup, was getting very slim. And there's 3 end turns in here. And so when the hate cup started getting slim, I was drawing these end turns a lot quicker. When that giant stack of doom of Saxons gets put in here, that makes the hate cup that much harder, or it makes your turns longer. So by letting the pagans just accumulate their strength, the hate cup gets smaller, and then that causes your turns to end quicker. And so you have less overall actions. So it's a very fascinating balance. And one that I'm not sure, I'm sure if I really sat down and tried to math it out, I could try to come up with an optimal solution. But I don't enjoy that. That sort of takes away the fun of the game for me. I mean, my intuition tells me I can't just leave them there. But I'm also, intuition-wise, thinking the churches need to go up before the marquees. It's nice having a marquee, but the church needs to go up. And you start the game with 1 marquee, so that means we can build 3 churches before we get a second marquee. And my logic is the tax. If I build 3 churches, I'm getting 3, 4, 5, 6 tax money. And I know the marquee gives me tax money too. That's what's hard about this. Because I can place a marquee for 6 coins if I have it all at once. I automatically get +2 taxes. I can get a bridge and road, which is another +1 tax, but that's assuming the marquee can... You know what, that's maybe build the marquee in the blue zone, and I can build a bridge and road. I don't need a church to build bridge and roads, right? Let me check. No, you need a finished church. So yeah, that was wishful thinking there. Yeah, very cool game. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I might be able to get another one in for this before I pack it up. And I think I want another crack now that I've seen how the dynamics are. So anyways, a nice break from doing those long D-Day games. My mind doesn't hurt that much. This is a nice challenge. So thank you to Tom, who reached out to me and introduced me to his company. And no, I'm not getting paid for it. He's just somebody I met in a chat room and we were chatting. And I paid full price for this game. He didn't even give me a discount. There you go, Tom. No, it's my pleasure. I really enjoy this. This was a great addition to my collection. So my first ever Hollandspiel game, and I fully confess I didn't even know they existed until I met Tom. So that's all the more reason why I'm glad to do it. And whatever you're doing, Tom, these components are awesome. I love how thick they are, and don't change that. Even if I have to smell nail polish when I open your product, I'm totally happy with that. So very good. We'll see you later. Stay awesome.